people of the World Wide Web. So it is Cypher Sigma screen time here, and as the video would kind of show you, yes, this is the side view, a discussion, so to speak, about steelbooks. So first of all, welcome to this channel. If you've not, if you feel the need to click on the subscribe button, if you do like this content, please, or comment down below, I would much appreciate it, but don't feel that you are obligated to. So when it comes to the world of steelbooks and stuff, so before these past 2 years of being on Facebook, on YouTube, and obviously meeting AJ and Matt, my collection of steelbooks has been very, very minor. And when I say minor, it's the very first steelbook that I bought was this. It was an Iron Man for obviously Iron Man 1. Just because I really, really liked it. I don't think it cost me that much back in the day. It's got a few scrapes and that. I think it was from CEX. And then that was second hand, and my first brand new one was this Prince of Persia one, which I did quite like because I think, as we discussed in the update, it actually has all the stuff printed on the back. So no J card. So these were the first two I had. I may have had a few more, but essentially when I've now met AJ and Matt, and as I blame them, and I'm not blaming them at all, I've kind of opened my eyes to the world of steelbooks. So since then I have a few more on DVD, stuff like this. So we have Daredevil, which I still need to get rid of that sticker. We have the very nice Masters of the Universe that I picked up, which is a DVD and Blu-ray, even though it's DVD size. And then two other ones that I featured were obviously ones I bought. This was on offer. I think it was £6 or £7 from Amazon this year. And obviously this is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mayhem that was released last year, which was one of my favourite movies. So obviously we have all of these together, but combined, I've gone through, I have 58 steelbooks altogether. That includes like a collector's edition Pacific Rim. So I think there's about 3 or 4 DVDs out there. So I have 54 Blu-rays, obviously, if you don't count this. So I've had about 50, so in the past year or so, maybe a year and a half, I've collected 50 steelbooks for my collection. I can say probably at least 10 to 15 of those have been gifts, more or less, from AJ, because he does give me a lot of steelbooks from time to time. And then some I have bought and gone out and bought brand new as I've started to get into this. And this is the whole discussion of the steelbook kind of craze that I've gone to. So for me, and this isn't a validation, this is just how my feeling is, I have started off on DVD, as is evident with this, and now upgrading, obviously there are better qualities of stuff. Obviously DVDs do degrade quicker and a lot easier to be affected than stuff like Blu-ray and 4K, down to just how they are. I mean, the noticeable one probably was the other day I was watching Angel Has Fallen. It was on a Blu-ray and the disc started to go a bit pixelated. It started to go on off. So I took the disc out. I have a little auto cleaner. There's a manual thing that you just want. I did that, put the disc back in. It was perfect. If that was a DVD, I'd normally have a few issues when I try and use the cleaner, because unless it's like a computerized one, sometimes the manual ones aren't good. But so yeah, it must have been just a little imperfection or a little bit of dirt on the disc. Cleaned it up, treat. So A, that was good to know, but B, obviously when you're upgrading something, because this was a box set that I had bought to upgrade from the original individuals, because I had one Angel Has Fallen and London Has Fallen, and obviously I bought the box set all together because it was all tiny and keeps them together. Obviously that's where my mindset is. This is why I move away. I still think DVDs are good, and I still will pick them up. There is some stuff on DVD that is just silly expensive on Blu-ray and stuff. But this is where you are now getting to the world of when you introduce 4K into stuff. So I believe the normal cost is essentially £10 if you buy something on DVD brand new. When it's released, £15 is Blu-ray, and I think 4K is in the realm of £20, so to speak, 20, 25. And then if you have a steelbook for it, and it might not be a steelbook 4K, it could just be a steelbook Blu-ray, and I used the prime example of The Fall Guy that was released this year. That was £35. So why do, so there is quite a big gap. As you were seeing, this seems to be a massive trend. Steelbooks were quite hard to find, and now they are more or less a dime a dozen, so to speak. And people are seeing them a lot more. Some go for silly prices, some not so much. And I'm kind of in the cheap ones. I'm like, if it's a cheap, I have like, if it's cheap, it's an all right movie, it's under £5, I will, or I've said £5, but I have spent like £6 and £7 on stuff. I think like that was £7 or £8, so I did go above my budget, and it was all right movie, but I only had it on DVD, so an upgrade to a Blu-ray version anyway, it's going to cost you a few quid. Why not spend £1 or £2 more, and you get a nice, lovely image. Now, is this right or is this wrong? And this is kind of going to be where this whole subject is, and the whole side view thing, I will kind of clarify that near the end. So the whole point is it's, we're all updating it, we're giving our reasons. I mean, I mainly don't double dip. I have The Crow, I have 2 steelbooks of The Crow because it's my favourite movie. I have multiple copies of Transformers animated movie, and I currently have 2 copies of the latest RoboCop. Obviously, if you watch my collection in the new year about The Purge, that might necessarily change. But yeah, 3 titles as far as I'm aware I've double dipped on, and 2 are in my top 5 movies of all time. I'm quite good at keeping it to one a movie. I don't see the point of having multiple copies of, say, The Crow, just because it's my favourite movie. Transformers is a great movie, and there are some extra bits on there. Yeah, it's only the lenticulars why I have 2 current copies of RoboCop. So steelbook and a Blu-ray with a lenticular on it. But yeah, so it's all about upgrading it, and as you will see, as I watch a lot of people who get these newer versions, collector's editions, it's just a lot of tat. It's 20, 30, 40 quid more than what a standard Blu-ray would be for maybe, and I use the words maybe, a better edition with a load of tat in it. Do we really need it? As most people would, the posters don't go up on the wall, the cards go back into it. I mean, I have the Crow poster here just out of frame. So that was out of Crow, so I took that out, the cards stay in it just because I have no real where to display them at this time. But when I've been watching reviews and watch a lot of people's stuff, some of the times these newer versions, although I'll use the kind of example of AJ of when we spoke on the live stream, and that said about Aliens. Aliens is in my mind the best one of the lot. I haven't watched them in a long time, so there's a note. That's a note. So I will be revisiting that in the future when I buy a Blu-ray box set to upgrade everything. But that is how my view has been. When he watched it, he said there is not a lot of difference between the Blu-ray and the 4K. And I say when you're talking potentially 15 quid and maybe 25 quid, is £10. Is it really worth that difference? Then if it's a steelbook, potentially it's a £20 difference just for something that looks nice. And don't get me wrong, like this is really, really nice. It is a really, really nice image. Sometimes you cannot choose what images these steelbooks come as because the fact it's like embossed, is it, where it pops out and stuff. You don't always get that on a lot of them. To the extent this is, you don't see that many, and if you did, it would probably be far, far more money than just a standard £35. So you kind of get yourselves first into this habit of, oh yeah, I'm upgrading and stuff, and then you start buying these and stuff. And I will use the prime example, and I said it before, is The Fall Guy. So The Fall Guy, I went to the cinema, and I really liked the movie, so I ordered the steelbook. The steelbook come, and I've rewatched the movie again. And to be honest, it went a little bit down in my estimations. I think because it's been a crap year and it was quite a good movie at the time. It's still a good movie. I still don't rate that. But I'm sitting there and rewatching it at home on my steelbook. And then I'm kind of sitting there like, well, I would have been happy with the Blu-ray and I would have had 20 quid extra in my hand that I could have easily bought another Blu-ray or another few Blu-rays or some second-hand steelbooks with it. Why did I buy it for this image? And the image isn't necessarily the greatest on there. Some of them, like, you have multiple ones and stuff like this. And yeah, when it is that, it is really nice. But this is the kind of feeling that I get. And it's going to be a prime example, is you will see behind me, and why the title is, what title is. It's all well and good. This looks amazing. This looks brilliant. But at the end of the day, I can go, oh yeah, that's amazing. the film is no different. I had the Blu-ray and the DVD in there. You know, there is a new version out. I'm not going to upgrade it. I don't know if it would add that much to my experience to me want to pay 30, 40, 50 quid. But then I'm like, oh, that's a really nice image. And then it sits on my shelf like that. They sit on my set. I will use that in. Sit with myself like that. The image can't be seen. It's hidden away from the world. Yes, I can enjoy it, but even when I go into my room, and I will use a prime example behind me, I have 2 steelbooks. I think Akira is there. But unless I pull that out and want to watch that movie, which, if you know me, isn't that often, I don't really get to enjoy it. But I mean, with that, I only spent £15. £15 up there, so I'm not too fussed about that. But when you buy brand new ones, and this is kind of, it is discouraging me a little bit from, obviously I've dived into this and I've started to get them, but because they're pumping them out too much and the quality isn't necessarily always translated into the 4Ks and how good they are. And you know, I haven't got the best sound system in the world and everything to always appreciate this. But to enjoy it for probably like 5 minutes, maybe do a video like this, go it's amazing, then sit down and watch it for an hour, 2 hours, and then you put it away and then don't see it for 2, 3, 4 years, because all you see is that when you come into collection. It's a bit silly, and I'm gonna admit to this, you know, it is a silly thing. It is kind of silly thing. It does waste money as a collector. It is a silly habit to have got. I'm not gonna blame AJ on that. You know, they've given me some stuff and maybe they've opened my eyes to this section of it, but it is my own choice to delve into it. And again, with a Fall Guy, is my idea to spend 35 quid, and you know, after the effect is showing. And this will, I still will hunt cheap steelbooks. I still want to upgrade stuff that is maybe on DVD that I can get on Blu-ray, and I've done it with like Shawshank Redemption recently. I think I paid £10-15 and got a really nice Blu-ray steelbook for that. Whether I'll go to high end, I don't think so, because it is just a lot of tat for most stuff. I do have one pre-order collection box that should come in the next few weeks, and you'll see this. But yeah, this is why I kind of tend to stay away from, because it's just so much, and especially for someone like me, that not only do I collect a lot, as you will see, I have massive amounts, but I collect toys as well, and when you factor that in, it's just chaos. So yeah, so that is why it is simply called the side review, because as much as I enjoy these and spending money on it, if most of my life all I'm going to ever see is that side of things, is it really worth it? Probably not. I'm still going to do it, and I will, you know, I am, you know, when you have money to spend, this is what we do, and collect stuff. This is what collectors are. Is it addiction? Probably a little bit addiction, I'm not going to lie, but I can control it. But that has been my discussion. What are your views and thoughts on the steelbook craze? Let me know them in the comments down below. I've been Cypher Sigma Screen Time. Hope you enjoyed this little talk about steelbooks and my thoughts and views. And yeah, if you feel like watching any of my content would be appreciated, but I'll definitely see you in the next one.